Hi everyone! Today we're going to do another fall inspired makeup look with all drugstore makeup. So I did one of these a week or two ago, my first fall video, and I wanted to do another one and use all drugstore products. So let's go ahead and get into it. I am, as always, just going to start with my brows. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Brow Lift today. I'll just kind of speed through this because you've seen me do it many times. I do want to use a primer today, and we're going to try a new one. This is the Wet n Wild Glass Correct primer. So it's a green primer. I got it because I wanted to see how it compared to the Makeup Forever one that I've been using. So I've never used this before. I'm just gonna kind of squeeze some out like that. And I'm really just gonna apply it here because that's really the only place that I need it. And I'm gonna use a brush to apply it. This is just a double-ended brush from Stila. It's very similar to the It Cosmetics one. So I'm just going to kind of stipple the primer on. Right away, I feel like it didn't do a whole lot of anything. I feel like I can really see a difference when I use that Makeup Forever one, but I feel like this one looks green. Obviously the color is green, but it kind of blends out to like a clear, I feel like. I don't know, I feel like it didn't do much except maybe add just a little bit of glow to my face. And I'm also going to use the Milani Make It Last spray, but I'm going to use it as primer as well because I think this one says you can use it for primer. Yeah, prime, correct, and set makeup. So let's try it as primer. Honestly, I know a lot of people love this one. I don't hate it, but it's definitely not a favorite. I think the mister is terrible. I wish they would redo the mister. It's very like spotty. It's not thin or even at all. I don't know. So I don't love it for that, but I do want to try it as primer. So I'm just going to kind of make sure that's nice and blended in. For a corrector, I'm going to use Neutrogena. No surprise here. This is probably my favorite drugstore corrector. It's not super full coverage, but it works pretty well. And then I'm just going to flip over that brush we used for primer and use the smaller end to blend that in. All right, for foundation, I'm going to use the Neutrogena Serum foundation. I really like this. I do not love this packaging, but I really like the product. So I use light medium number 2, and I'm just going to grab some with my brush and start applying it. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH03 brush. If you haven't tried this and you like something really thin and lightweight from the drugstore, definitely look into this one. For concealer, I'm going to use the NYX Bear With Me. I'm going to use this one because this texture is very similar to that Neutrogena foundation. It also has that serum-y consistency. So these two typically pair really well together. I wear this shade Vanilla in the NYX one. And I'm just going to take few little dots. Since it is that serum-y texture, it does spread quite a bit. So a little bit does go a long way. This is so good from NYX. I know I talk about it all the time, but it's because it is just so good, you guys. If you haven't tried it, do yourself a favor and try it. I am very rarely that impressed with a drugstore foundation or concealer, but that one is so good. I'm just going to use the same brush. I really like this brush actually, but are these discontinued? Because I found mine at TJ Maxx recently, and I think now in Ulta they don't have the Jaclyn Hill brushes anymore. So I don't know if these are discontinued. I think this is the same brush as the Morphe M439. I'm almost positive. It just obviously isn't the Jaclyn Hill version. But I really like that brush and this brush that I'm using. This is also from the Jaclyn Hill line. It's the, what is this, JH08. I bought both of these recently at a TJ Maxx, and I really like them. The shape, everything is just really good, but I'm wondering if you can't get these anymore. Okay, I have a new bronzer to try, and it's the Revolution Cream Bronzer in the shade Light. I keep hearing people say how great this is. I was in Ulta, so I decided to try it. I haven't tried a whole lot from Makeup Revolution in general, but I'm very curious. Ooh, that's it there. Really good color. It's a very thin formula. It almost kind of feels like the Makeup by Mario Skin Enhancer, the texture of it. So I'm gonna get some of this on a Morphe A58 brush. Ooh. Okay, yeah, the texture definitely reminds me of the Makeup by Mario. It's, I think, has just a little bit more pigment, but the way it applies really reminds me of that. Wow, it has a lot of pigment. I was not expecting that. Wow, it really does just kind of like melt. This almost melts and blends in like too easily. Interesting. So I got it kind of crazy over here, so I'm gonna tap over it with my sponge. Yeah, it's weird. This one almost like is too blendable. As weird as that sounds, it just like melts right into your skin. It's really pretty though. So you kind of have to be careful with applying it. I probably went in a little too liberally with it, because it spreads really easy. But I love the color. I think the color is really good if you are like a light medium skin tone. Okay, so anytime I feel like I go a little too low on the side with my bronzer, I'll take just a little bit of concealer and just kind of tap it there. And then you can take your sponge or whatever foundation brush you were using. I'm just going to use the same brush and just go right underneath and kind of tap it out. If you ever feel like you over apply and you can't like fix it with a sponge, like it just kind of cleans it up. But so far I'm pretty impressed with that cream bronzer, and I think the only other drugstore cream bronzer that I own is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, and I like that one too. Just a very different consistency than this one. This one truly is kind of like buttery. The consistency kind of feels like butter. It just kind of melts in. Whereas the e.l.f. one is a little bit drier of a formula. It's that cream to powder. This one is pretty dewy looking, but I like it. All right, I do want to set my face down before we go in with blush because I'm going to use a powder blush today, but we're going to try this from Wet n Wild. It's the Bare Focus Finishing Powder in the shade Fair Light. I don't know who I saw, but somebody I saw was talking about how this was a highly underrated powder from the drugstore, and it's like $3. So I wanted to try it. So I am gonna take, actually, let me get a bigger brush. I'm gonna kind of set my whole face because really everything we applied is very dewy. The Serum concealer, Serum foundation, that bronzer. I feel like we need to kind of set this down. So I'm going to get some on this Morphe A21 brush. Yeah. And I'm just gonna lightly go over my face with this just to take down some of the shine. I have been using and really liking the Maybelline Fit Me powder, the what is it called? Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I really like that one, but I'm always looking to try new ones to see if there's anything else out there that's good from the drugstore. Let me look up close. Okay, it definitely mattified, like definitely took away a lot of the shine, especially like right here in this area. I don't know how blurring I think it is, but it doesn't look bad. It does not look bad. I think I am going to set my under eyes as well, but I'm gonna go over them first with my sponge just to make sure we don't have any creasing. And I want to use this same powder and see how it is under the eyes. So I'm just gonna lightly tap this in under the eyes also. So far it looks pretty good under the eyes, but we'll see. Okay, for blush, I'm gonna use this one from Maybelline. It's the Fit Me powder blush in the shade 20 Mauve. So this color is kind of interesting. It's a light pink, but they do refer to it as a mauve, so it's a little bit of that pink with that blue undertone, which I personally really like. And this has a little bit of shimmer to it, this blush, but it's very subtle. Like you would have to look really close to see it. Isn't it a pretty pink though? It's that really kind of doll-like pink that's gotten really popular with the Dior Rosy Glow blush and just all those pretty pale pink blushes. So I'm just lightly kind of tapping some of this on. And I use the Morphe A22. I've been using a lot of these brushes, but I really do like these. I think they're really good quality. I use mine all the time. I really like this color. Have you guys tried this blush? I feel like this was a recommendation from Kellyanne, as always. Makeup XKA on Instagram. She was using this color recently, so naturally I had to try it and I really like it. Going to quickly fill in my brows with my NYX pencil. Okay, let's move on to the eyes. I have a few new products from e.l.f. that I wanted to use today. The first one is this No Budge Cream Eyeshadow in, let's see, Sand Dune. So these are fairly new, and I kind of held off on them for a while just because, oh, it's very pigmented. Okay, so that is the shade there. It's much darker than it looks. Yeah, that's way darker than I was thinking it was going to be. Super creamy. I barely dipped my finger in and I got that much. But these came out pretty recently. I didn't end up buying one initially just because I wasn't crazy about the colors. But then I saw Kelly Gooch using this one and she kind of sheared hers out when she used it and it was pretty. So I'm going to try to do that. I don't want to go in with too much, but I'm going to try this MAC 217 brush. I'm going to try to do like a sheer wash of this all over, like on the lid, and then kind of pull it up. Yeah, initially I was excited when I saw they were coming out with these again. I think they used to have them. They were like the primer infused eyeshadow, or yeah, primer infused eyeshadows. Then they discontinued those and came out with these. And I don't know, I just didn't love the colors. Like I thought they were kind of random. They had this one. They had one that was like a deep brown, which kind of a typical color. Then they had like a bright orange color. They had a white, and then I want to say they had like a pink, like a bubblegum pink color. I don't know. I thought the shade range was kind of strange, but figured I could probably make this work. I wish they would release more shades though. I'm just kind of going back and forth, blending just a little bit, but this color is very pretty. It's just, you would have to be really careful unless you want like a really, really intense color payoff, because I'm really kind of shearing this out to make it a little more wearable. I wonder why they didn't come out with just a few like good neutral shades that are more like transitional. I don't know. I do like the color though, and that's one product. Oh yeah, that's really pretty actually. Then I bought one of these. This is also from e.l.f., the No Budge Shadow Stick, but this is one of the newer matte shades. I've tried one of these in the past, but the one that I tried was one of the shimmer ones. This color is new. This is called Cool Beans. And I was thinking it would be a different shade than that eyeshadow, but now that I'm like looking at it, I don't even know. I'm gonna use it, I think, as eyeliner. So that's it there. It's kind of like a deep, deep grayish brown. So what I'm thinking is I'm just gonna apply this on my lash line and kind of smudge it a little bit. So I am going to just kind of messily apply that on the outer half of my eye. I'm gonna start with that same MAC 217 brush and just kind of feather this back and forth. I don't know. Okay, so it's blending out really easy, which is good. So I just kind of smudged it, and then I'm gonna take this smaller little Morphe brush and kind of pull it out, like just slightly, like a little smoky wing. Ooh, I do like that color though. I feel like these two shadows go well together. Okay, I pulled out a ColourPop Super Shock that I had planned to kind of tap over the top of this, but I kind of love this on its own. So I kind of feel like I don't want to add it. I don't know, something about these two together I just really like. The color, I feel like really brings out the green in my eyes. I'm liking it. So I'm going to take that little Morphe brush we used, and I'm going to apply a very, very light amount of that No Budge, the cream one in the pot. I'm going to apply just a little bit of that on the lower lash line, like just very small bit because it's very, very pigmented. Honestly, I had planned to add this. This is a really pretty Super Shock in the shade Amaze, kind of a bronze. I don't know, something about this I really like on its own. So I think I'll go ahead and apply some mascara, and then at the end, maybe if I think I need it, I can always tap a little bit of that on top. But I kind of like these two on their own, and they're not creasing or anything. I'm very impressed. For mascara, I'm going to use L'Oreal Telescopic in Black Brown. All right, and last for the lips, I have an idea of what I want to do. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but we're just going to try it. I wanted to use this NYX lip pencil in the shade Nutmeg, which is there. So it's kind of a warm brown kind of color. And then I wanted to use this Revlon, or no, not Nude Illuminator, Revlon Super Lustrous Shine lipstick in Rum Raisin, which is swatched right above there. I don't know how this will look with the rest of the makeup, but let's try it out. So it's a good bit deeper than what I normally go for, but let's put this on top and see what we think. Okay, they definitely go together. I feel like I just don't know if I love it with this makeup look. Okay, yeah, I like that lip combo, but not really with this makeup, so I'm gonna try something else. This is the LA Girl lip liner in Sugar and Spice. My lips are kind of irritated now because I rubbed that off, but oh well. This one is kind of more on the mauve side. And then I think I'm just gonna try this lifter gloss on top. And this one is Topaz. Okay, I didn't love that either. Maybe third time. Third time's a charm. I'm gonna try NYX in Nude Beige. Yeah, I think I like that color better. And then I'm gonna try this L'Oreal Glow Paradise in Nude Heaven. Okay, yeah, that's it. The others looked a little too red with this look, but I like that. Okay, and then I'll put just a little bit of Topaz from Maybelline right in the center. And then we will spray one more time. All right, you guys, this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really like how this turned out. It's kind of random with things I already had and some newer things, but I, for some reason, am obsessed with this eye look, and it's just two products. I don't know why. I just love this like smoky gray kind of color. I really like that. So if you haven't tried those from e.l.f., definitely look into those. And then, oh, okay, this cream bronzer, you guys, I was kind of skeptical just because, like I said, I haven't tried a whole lot from Revolution, and I feel like their stuff usually doesn't get the best reviews, but this is really good. This may be a new favorite cream bronzer, like even over some of my high-end cream bronzers. I'll definitely keep using it, but let me know if you've tried this. I can't get over how easy it just melted into the skin. I really like it though. And let's see, do we try anything else? That Wet n Wild primer, I would say probably skip it. I don't think that did anything for me. The powder is not bad. Let me look up close one more time. I mean, it definitely did like mattify in this area. I can't decide if I like it as much as the Maybelline Fit Me powder, but I do like it. It looks pretty good. And let's see, anything else I tried? I think everything else for the most part was stuff I already had. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. I will list and link everything below for you as always. They are affiliate links, so I do make a small commission if you do shop through them. I always like to mention that. And thank you if you do choose to do that. Make sure you are following me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. And I will see you guys next time for another video. Remember, simply be you. Bye.